What's going on, New Money? Hope you guys are doing well today. I'm back after a little hiatus of really only doing live streams for the last 2 months. And in this video, I'm going to be bringing you guys something slightly different from what you might be used to on the channel. I'm actually going to be interviewing Brian from the Paw Chain core team. Paw Chain is a unification layer 1 that they built from the ground up. And in this video, I'm going to be going over just a quick background with Brian over how he got involved with Paw Chain. Then we're actually going to be jumping into the platform itself, showing you guys how to navigate the ecosystem that they've built out and take advantage of the technology that they've built. Of course, guys, none of this is financial advice. Please always do your own research. Don't hesitate to jump into Telegram, ask them any questions, and just explore the ecosystem yourself. Cryptos are inherently volatile, so make sure you're always doing your own research. This is a sponsored video also, so I wouldn't be doing it if I wasn't incredibly bullish on Brian and Paw Chain and what they're doing. So there's a reason I really wanted to highlight and make this video. So let's go ahead and get into it. Let's start off with a little bit of background about Brian, how he got involved in crypto and Paw Chain, and then we'll go ahead and start showing you guys around the platform. Yeah, we're gonna go ahead and get into it. If you guys appreciate this type of content, make sure you guys drop a like on the video, subscribe, leave some comments that lets us know, or myself know, that also lets YouTube know that you guys want to see more of this content. Without further ado, we're gonna go ahead and get into it. We got Brian up on deck, like I said, from Paw Chain, part of the Paw core team here. I guess first, if we just want to kick things off, maybe Brian, get a little bit about your background, sort of how you got involved in crypto, and then Paw Chain at large.
Yeah, absolutely, Joe. And first and foremost, thank you so much for having me today. Very excited to be a part of this and kind of share our journey here at Paw Chain and what we're building, as I believe it's something completely unique, different from anything in the space currently that solves many of the major issues that exist in the space. But I want to get started with a bit about my background, how I got exposed. I've been in the crypto space since 2017, and I got in via Bitcoin. And I had a friend at work tell me about it on me every day, and I wasn't buying it. I didn't believe in it. I thought it was kind of, garbage, Ponzi scheme, you name it. And he was on me for like 2 weeks straight. And finally, I decided to do some research, kind of look into more so the blockchain, technology. What is blockchain behind the Bitcoin? And I decided, what, after listening to him and having some, extra funds to be able to DCA in every month, that's exactly what I did. I started buying Bitcoin in 2017, probably around $4,000 a coin, $500-600 a month, and just kept doing it. And obviously performed incredibly well. I was sold. I'm like, this is legit. And I started getting excited. And then in 2021, 22, during the height of the bull run, with all the layer 2 protocols, all these different chains, the space was exploding. Blockchains were getting released, exploding everywhere. I started to develop a passion for like the technology driving it, DeFi, liquidity pools, automated market making, all these different things, and following all these different protocols as the space continued to explode, kind of diverse some of my investments in there. But it didn't take long. After all those layer 2s came out, all these different protocols, different wallet apps, I mean, you name it, to where I noticed a massive problem for onboarding people, adoption, right? So I tell people about crypto, and if they didn't roll their eyes and think it was a scam, they were interested in getting involved. It was difficult to get them started. Obviously, everybody usually starts with some kind of central exchange, Coinbase, Binance, you name it, easy onboarding, easy in. But when it came to the DeFi protocols, having to explain all these different wallets, the different chains, you got to bridge back and forth because you can't use one currency on another network without a bunch of different headaches, 3 to 4 transactions, all these different things. I was looking at my computer. I had like 50 plus different wallet applications, protocols where I was holding liquidity. And I'm just like, this sucks. Like, this is a massive, massive issue. Like, how am I going to onboard? How are we going to onboard in this space if it's this difficult to track everything, to transact? And that's when I discovered Paw Chain. So early 2023, probably about 2-3 months after they launched, I got introduced to the project from another friend of mine and looked at the white paper, looked at what they were building, and I just went, wow, like this is special. Like, this is going to solve a major issue of fractionalization of liquidity in the space. And then I just started getting active in the community. Our community, one of the best in the entire space. I always like to say they're like meme coin rabid when it comes to Paw Chain, rating, showing up, all these different things. And I took some of my background with my experience in my IRL job, where I was a project manager. So I'm always dealing with people. I'm dealing with corporate, dealing with management, dealing with employee level, pretty much making sure everybody gets along to complete a job and get it done on time, on budget, all these different things, and kind of brought that expertise to the community, started stepping up in spaces, speaking engagements, live, streams just like this one on YouTube, interviews, and just kind of built from there. And the rest is kind of history. And now I'm a part of the core team as we continue to expand. Paw Chain being that universal, like layer one that allows liquidity to move freely cross chain with the click of a button. No more 3 to 4 transactions, no more multiple transaction fees. Everything in one place, connecting the entire space at the DeFi level to be that foundational level or layer of communication. And that's what we built, brand new, custom coded from the first line of code, the first ever blockchain with a Redis ledger that allows us to run on RAM, allows us to be 100 times faster than every other network. And the way we built our consensus mechanism, we call it cross-stitching. It allows us to scale infinitely simply by adding validators. So the trilemma, decentralization, security, scalability. You can have 2 to 3, not all 3. But with our system, simply by adding validators, you increase scalability, you increase decentralization, and you increase security. So not only do we tackle the trilemma, we're tackling that fragmentation issue as well. And then we just been, building on top of it ever since. I had in projects over the last few days. We had a few more projects launch on chain. We have many more lined up. We've been doing a restructure over the last 5 to 6 months to get our back end, our messaging, in order, increase, building up a nice marketing plan for when we do expand to now we have our core foundation laid. We're going to, be able to start picking up mind share, market share. Now we're going to focus on that. So I'll get into the details as you want, as you ask questions. There is so much to talk about. I'm excited to do a couple screen shares to run people through a bridge in, playing around in the Paw wallet, our external swap, all these wonderful things we built so everybody can see just how incredibly special it all is.
Yeah, thank you for the background and how you sort of got involved and where your role is. And yeah, if you want to, let's go ahead and jump into some screen sharing, because I think ultimately that's a lot of the selling point for people is, user interface, user experience. Like you said, this is the interoperable L1 that everyone's been waiting for here. So let's check it out.
Exactly. All righty. So can you see my screen?
Oh, yeah, we got you.
All right, perfect. Here we go. All right, so I'm in a MetaMask wallet right now, guys. You can actually use any DeFi wallet. So that includes MetaMask, Coinbase wallet, Trust wallet, Crypto.com, Phantom, you name it. You'll be able to interact with Paw Chain. So right now I got some Wrap Paw in here. I got some Ethereum in my wallet. First thing I'm going to do is I'm going to go to wallet.pawchain.net. Now, I'm already signed in. If you can see my screen, this is my Paw wallet. If you are creating a fresh wallet, be sure to write down your 12-word seed phrase. I will say that again. Write down your 12-word seed phrase and actually do it twice and put it in 2 separate secret locations. Don't take screen shares. Don't put it anywhere on the internet in an email. Don't do any of that. Keep it written down. And then you create a password and then log into your Paw wallet. And this is what the interface will look like on the PC. Very clean, easy to navigate. I can get everything. I can send, I can swap, I can bridge, shows my activity on chain. And then to the right on the screen, you'll see this will be the swap, where I'll be able to swap for whatever tokens, assets we're connected to on Paw Chain, the project's launched, you name it. So the first thing you want to do is you want to fund your Paw wallet. And the first transaction is free of charge. But one thing I do want to say and recommend, because this has been an issue in the past, since we are an L3 wallet, your first transaction needs to be Paw, wrapped Paw, bringing into the wallet Paw Coin, because after that free one, you're going to need Paw to transact and move around the network as that coin is used for transaction fees and all the transactions that take place on chain. So say you were to bridge in like Ethereum, Solana, something else, you wouldn't have Paw in your wallet to be able to transact. It's like using an EVM wallet like MetaMask. If I don't have ETH in there, I have to add it in from somewhere else and outside. And since we are a new chain and are building, establishing our fiat on off ramps, the only way to get Paw in there is to either get sent from another Paw wallet to bridge it in, or use the external swap to send Paw there. And I'll show you exactly how to do that as well later. But the first thing I want to run through, Joe, is a bridge in. How do I fund my Paw wallet with Paw? So as you'll see in my MetaMask, I open up, I got about $120 worth of wrapped Paw in this wallet. I have enough Ethereum to be sure that I can cover the gas because I'm transacting off the Ethereum network to the Paw wallet. So I need a little bit of ETH to be able to bring my Paw into the Paw network. I'll click on the wallet and I'll click on this little bridge button right here. So I'll hit bridge. In the top right corner, you'll see an address. You want to confirm that this address right here in the top right corner is the one that is connected with your wallet that you are bridging in from. Mine is. I have confirmed that. So now I will select a token from the menu. I'm going to type in Paw. I'm going to put in the number that how much I want to bridge in. And let's see here. We'll do about $93 worth. Let it load up and process. So I'll be bridging in. The processing fee will be displayed right here below, $2.50 worth of Paw. $92 of Paw will be coming in. I will hit approve. Let it do its thing. My little MetaMask box will pop up here to confirm the transaction. Read through it all, make sure it's good, shows the amount of ETH that it will be spending, like 68 cents. Hit confirm. Transaction was submitted. Now it's processing. Once it is done, there'll be one more transaction that will actually be the bridge. You'll have to click bridge after the tokens are approved, then hit bridge. And I'll do that as soon as it is ready.
And
But,
so,
go ahead,
Brian,
Joe.
my bad to jump in. Yeah, just to recap then there. So, first you'll need to MetaMask or something of the sorts to actually buy the Paw, and then you're able to bridge the Paw on chain over here. Is that correct?
Yeah,
Then you jump over.
You can use that. Yes, you can use the DeFi wallet, buy your Paw. Like, we have the wrap Paw available via Uniswap and Ethereum, but you can also use our external swap to send Paw directly to your Paw wallet. I'll explain that shortly here. But yeah, right now I'm ready to bridge. So I click on the bridge button. Confirm pops up. I hit confirm. It is bridging. And then once that goes through, transactions executing. I will hit confirm again on my MetaMask. And it is submitted. So now we'll bridge in these tokens here, and then we'll go around. Now, keep in mind as well, Joe, I can bridge in anything connected that's launched as a pool on Paw Chain, so any token project, and I can also bridge in any native asset. So we're talking Ethereum, AVAX, Solana, Base, Arbitrum, Crow, BSC, you name it, the 19 networks that we're connected to, you can bridge in that native asset and then move freely around in the Paw wallet. And I'm excited to kind of explain this Paw wallet. Transaction successful. There's my Paw. I just bridged into the Paw network, and it took me about 20 to 30 seconds. So I got that Paw wallet in there, and I am all ready to go. Joe, do you got any questions?
No, I think that this is perfect. I think that this will help answer a lot of questions that people have in terms of getting into the network and what you're able to bridge. I guess one question, where can they find, is it somewhere on the website listed all the different tokens that, or you said it's 19 different ecosystems you
native
guys are?
Assets, yes.
Yeah, okay.
That's the chains we're connected to.
Where's that list? Is it?
You could go to www.pawchain.net and then look up our documentation, and everything will be in our documentations. We have walkthrough videos on how to do this, how to provide. You can check out our scanner. We have our own custom built scanner And we have a token list. You can click on tokens on our scanner and then see all the different tokens that have launched on Paw Chain.
Perfect. This is awesome.
Yeah.
Let's just keep rolling. Yeah. Now
We'll
what
keep
can we
rolling.
do? What can we do with our
Now,
paw
now
now?
this is what is fantastic. Like, because now I'm in the wallet and I got my $200 of paw, so plenty to play for transactions. I'm going to go show you. Say you want to send paw or any other asset on Paw Chain, you would simply select send, type in that person's paw wallet address, whatever asset you want to send, the amount, and these arrows here, you can adjust amount and amount of paw, or you can click on the arrows and do amount in USD to make it easier. Say I send you $50, boom, pop in your paw wallet address, send you $50 of paw. And then we also have our swap, which is great. I do all of my like transactions and swaps inside the paw wallet, because inside this wallet, Joe, we do not have gas. We just have a fixed transaction fee. Because our network is infinitely scalable, we don't have to worry about gas fees always changing. It will always be that set fee. So here, I want to use some paw right now. I go to the right under swap. I'm going to click on this and I'm going to do, say I want to buy, I'm going to use $20 and I want to buy Ethereum with it. Put in the Ethereum. Let it load up and do the transactions here. There it is. It gives me a processing fee, $1. That's it. I hit swap here after it's done spooling. Swap. You'll pop up a confirm button. Hit confirm. Let it process, and then I will have my $20 of Ethereum right in my Paw wallet. And then I'll do another transaction to show you how easy it is to swap around in this wallet to like ETH to AVAX, and without having to do all that bridging work, all those different fees and everything like that. And that's what's really going to set this apart, is not only can I swap cross-chain all these different native assets inside the Paw wallet, I can also hold all these different native assets inside this one wallet. And that includes non-EVM, that includes Solana as well. So transaction was confirmed. It'll pop up here in my wallet. This is reloading under my tokens. I now have the Ethereum inside my Paw wallet. And now I will take my Ethereum, and let's say I want some AVAX. I'll max it up, let it process.
This is really cool. I also saw some meme coins in there as well that you can buy. This
is
really cool.
Different meme coins. So there it goes, swap. Now I'm swapping ETH for AVAX. Let that confirm.
And so the processing fee, I'm assuming, is $1 across the board?
No, it actually it kind of varies a bit. So when small transactions like this, it's $1, but it's 0.5% up to a certain part. The swap fee, you see it where I'm highlighting right here, just like Uniswap. So gotcha. Say I do a $500, it will be 0.5% of that. But there is a max. Like $25 is as high as it will go. So say I want to swap 20,000 USD, that $25 will be, that's max. And as we gain adoption and volume, our fees are actually going to come down significantly. Right now, we're competitive with like Uniswap platforms and things like that. But when you think about the multi-chain functionality, what we do, obviously we can't compete with Solana, Base, the layer 2 prices, but what we offer for the multi-chain functionality, it's cheaper than just about any other platform out there to complete these transactions. All right, transaction was confirmed. This will load back up. I just got Ethereum for my AVAX, and now I'm kind of ready to go. And you can do that with Solana as well, or any of these native assets, or any of those tokens that I mentioned. So say I want to use some PAW. There's the AVAX now in my wallet. I want to use some PAW to, let's see, what's one? Tidy. They just launched on Friday. Team building a very cool protocol of like a token sweeper to where you send your old meme coins to them. They exchange it for Tidy, all kinds of different utilities that these guys are building. They decide to launch on chain, and I'm very excited to have him aboard. Noted developer. He's been a part of some very successful NFT projects in the past. Great community. So I want to buy some Tidy. We'll use $50 worth of my Paw to swap for the Tidy, and then boom, we'll be off. And then that Tidy will be in my wallet to confirm, and I'm done. That's it, Joe. You can do this with all these different native assets. And eventually in the future, as we connect to more networks and chains, there'll be hundreds of them. And you'll be able to hold all of these different native assets in one place, which I can't stress to everybody here how huge that is going to be, how much easier it's going to make life on every single user and then developer as well. Keep in mind, you're a developer. You only got to manage one liquidity pool. All this is done, guys, from a single liquidity pool. And that's going to be easier on developer because he doesn't have to manage multiple pools. It's going to be more cost effective because he doesn't have to create 5 to 6 pools. Now we're going to provide the experience of a central exchange, giving you all this access to all these different networks, but we don't charge anything. We're a free and permissionless network. It just costs you liquidity. So instead of spending 30 grand, 50 grand, 500,000, $1 million, if you want a tier 1, you can get that same kind of benefit just by deploying on Paw Chain, which I think is incredible. I think central exchanges have kind of gatekept this space for a long time, and a majority of them, and Joe, I know you know this, a lot of these tier 2 and tier 3 exchanges are vaporware. They are just extraction. You give them money for a market maker. It's all artificial volume. And I've watched a lot of small projects just get absolutely destroyed by these central exchanges. I'll turn on the Tidy Coin. Everybody will be able to see that I got my Tidy Coin in there right now. So that's all available in there. And that's pretty much the Paw wallet, guys. And you got an activity section here as well that will pop up on the right and be able to track everything you did, all your transactions right here. If you click on them, it will open up the Paw scanner. I can run through that in a little bit. And then say you want to bridge out. You want to take your funds off Paw Chain. You just hit the bridge out, select what you want to offload, pick your network you want to offload them to, because you can bring them out to Ethereum, to Base, all these different networks, as I mentioned. And that's pretty much the Paw wallet, Joe, all in one-stop shop where you can do just about everything inside. And we will be having our Paw wallet applications coming to the App Store sometime in the near future. So very much excited about that. Any questions, brother?
Yeah, thank you, Ryan. I think that is really massive, and I think people actually being able to walk through this process with you and see how it works is going to help just explain a lot of things and really just make things easy for people to get involved with the wallet. I guess I do just want to highlight that I think that the cross-chain swaps is really important. Now people, if you're a meme coin on Solana, you have access to all of the different communities. If someone's on AVAX chain or Ethereum only or whatever, you are now increasing your total addressable market. Essentially, if you're a project founder, you get more people that have access to your token now, which I think is really important. I did want to ask a question. So, all right, we jump in here. We're in our Paw Chain wallet. So are there still, the classic DeFi things that we can do? Am I able to add to this liquidity pool that exists? Let's go ahead, run through that.
Yeah, absolutely. So say I wanted to add liquidity to Paw Chain. There's a button right here just next to swap. You hit add liquidity. It will pull up the liquidity screen here. And then you can just pick and choose whatever you want to add liquidity to. So if I want to do a Paw and USDC pair, that's our main liquidity on chain. If I wanted to do a Tidy Coin pair with Paw, I can. You just type that in there. It's pretty much functions similar to Uniswap V2. So it's like a 50-50 split. I want to provide a $10,000 pool, $5,000 in Paw, $5,000 of USDC for the main pool. If I want to do a pool for Tidy Coin, $5,000 worth of Paw, $5,000 worth of Tidy Coin. And then I just type it in. I hit add liquidity. Boom, I'm done. And then if you want to see the pool, you click on the button here that says show pool. It pops up, shows you what your pool, the worth. It should show the amount of rewards you're getting and the fees. You get 0.25% of all the swap fees that come into PawChain as a liquidity provider. Now, keep in mind that's based on your total share of the pool. So if you have a bigger share, obviously you'll get more fees, and then those fees are airdropped in Paw back to your wallet. So you can build your liquidity that way. It's something that I've done for a while now in this space. I do provide some liquidity here on PawChain, but majority of my liquidity provided in the past has been done on Uniswap, and I played around a little bit on Radium as well. It's a great way to make passive income. And keep in mind, guys, like the lifeblood of DeFi is liquidity. It is something I recommend everybody researches, understands how it works, what price impact is, what automated market making is, all these different things. Because if you understand it, you will always get a better price for your trade. You know, if you're trying to buy $1,000 of a coin and there's only a $5,000 liquidity pool, there is going to be a massive amount of price impact, like 20%, and you will only get about $800 worth of that $1,000 transaction. So obviously, the bigger the pool is, the bigger you can transact with less of that price impact. And it's all about getting the most bang for your buck when you're doing things like this. So yeah, you like I mentioned, you can provide liquidity. I just sit back, I go back to my wallet, and like I said, the activity shows, the bridge, sending, pretty much anything you can do in a DeFi wallet. And keep in mind too, Joe, this is all V1. We are going to be constantly making UI, UX upgrades, cleaning up everything, making it function better, process better, improving latency, all those different kinds of things are in the pipeline for the future. But me personally, I love it. I'm inside my Paw wallet transacting all the time. I hold a lot of my assets in there, and it's just been a fantastic piece of equipment, you know, a piece of software to be able to do this. So really excited, man.
Yeah, I think that exactly what you said, liquidity pools and us to be able to provide to them is something that totally separates the space from everything else in the past. You know, we can actually take part and start earning fees and generating money off of our money. We're essentially part of the order book flow now. It's, you know, interesting how these liquidity pools work versus order books. So it's really cool that you're able to do it so easily here. And I guess just to confirm, so if people have liquidity over here on the PawChain wallet, can they still provide liquidity to those Uniswap liquidity pools or to Radium, or would you want to bridge
Of
it
course,
to an?
that's an individual. If you want to do that for any project you like, obviously outside the pod network, then you do that. Like we do have a V2 pool on Uniswap, which is the Rat Paw, which is Paw existing on the Ethereum network, one for one. And if you wanted to provide a pool to that, you V2 pool to that, you definitely could. And then obviously any other project that's not even tied to the ecosystem, if you want to learn how to provide liquidity, that's the beauty of DeFi is you can't. Like I can't even tell you how many other projects that I knew had trustworthy teams, volume would pick up. I decide to, instead of just making an investment, hey, I'm going to make this investment and then I'm going to provide, $5,000 in liquidity, $10,000 in liquidity to earn some of that passive income. And then what you do is you compound those fees to continue to increase the pool size. So you're constantly getting more and more and more, and it compounds and it does it very quickly. About a year and a half ago, when we had our V3 pool before we launched our network, I was doing a bunch of liquidity providing, and on high volume days, I was getting ETH, getting Paw at crazy clips, and just compounding and kept adding to my positions, to my bags, to my my holdings. Usually, and also too, like what I love about the Paw wallet is it's new, it's safe. There's no bots on here. There's no like draining links out there yet. I know I can store my funds in this Paw wallet. We will soon have cold wallet accessibility as well and hardware available for this, because I recommend everybody don't keep a bunch of funds in a hot wallet ever. Even if you practice good hygiene, you don't click on links, you can make a mistake. I've known many very experienced traders, investors, people that have been around the space a long time make one mistake, and now all the money that they've worked so hard for to build their positions, their portfolios over the last 4 or 5 years is just gone with a click. So get that treasure, get that ledger, get that money into that cold storage, so you don't become a statistic. You don't become one of those people telling those stories that, hey, I was hacked and I lost this amount of my crypto. It's definitely something you don't ever want to go through. But yeah, Joe, that's pretty much a run through of the Paw wallet. If you have any questions, feel free to let me know. If not, I'm ready to move on to our swap, our external swap, as we call it.
Before I let you move on, I see there's a start validating button sitting there, looking good.
Yes,
What's going
yes.
on there?
Yes, so that is something that is pretty new. We just went live with our validation dashboard about 4 weeks ago now, which is allowing other validators from outside our current network to come in and help secure the chain. And what's great about that is now these validators will receive delegation from holders that you can delegate your funds to a validator. Every transaction they process, you get a percentage of the rewards, the fees, yet another way to make passive income. And why this is so big for us is because since we are a brand new blockchain, custom built network, us being able to bring in outside validators from the team nodes, because every blockchain launches with the team nodes to make sure everything's running as it should. But we've now proven that we can bring in outside validators to secure this network and scale, which is a massive accomplishment by our development team. It's something I think a lot of people overlook, just how impressive and important that is, to say, hey, our validation works, our consensus mechanism works, our fee structures work. You can delegate and do these things. And we're starting to see many people delegate, which is locking up supply. And even with the volume being a new chain, being lower than many other networks, we have, I think now, almost 17% of the supply locked up in validation and delegation. And that's just a shout out to our incredible community who believes in us, trusts us, and they will do whatever they can to help support this network and ecosystem. And the number keeps going up every day, Joe. And it's a great way to make passive income. And then especially early too, before we gain that mind share, that adoption in the future, those early validators and early delegators have a chance to just earn massive amounts of fees, passive income. Take a look at some of the original Polygon validators and the type of fees and money that they were bringing in once Polygon exploded in the last bull run. It's an incredible opportunity. It's exciting. And if anybody, needs help with any of it, we have a video, we have a guide, a walkthrough guide in our documentation. If it's something that interests you, definitely reach out, jump in our communities, and we'll guide you and steer you in the right direction.
I knew that there was something there, we wanted to pull apart. What I think is cool about Paw Chain and what you guys are doing is it not only helps with scalability, but also decentralization. It's kind of a 2-for-1. Whereas before, if you add more Bitcoin nodes, decentralization, of course, but this helps, with the scalability. The more nodes you guys have online, the more you're able to process things. And like you said, the sooner you can get involved, the better, for sure. So I really am a fan of that. Thank you for highlighting that and pointing that out. And, if you want to, yeah, we can go ahead and move on to the Paw Chain swap. Let's talk about it.
Yeah, and this is something that's very cool, because our external swap that we built allows you to utilize the Paw Chain network without having to have a Paw wallet. So you can pull up with, I'm going to use a MetaMask as an example, but you can pull up with that Coinbase wallet, that Trust wallet, that Crypto.com wallet, Phantom wallet, any of these DeFi wallets. And if you hold any of those native assets we're connected to, Solana, Ethereum, Base, you can use that and use the external swap to make that transaction. And we do everything here on the back end. So obviously I'm in MetaMask here. I got my Ethereum, and I'm going to use Ethereum as example for the swap, but I'll run through everything, how it's all set up. So I go to swap.pawchain.net. This pulls up. As I mentioned, be sure, top right corner, guys, make sure that this wallet address matches the wallet address in your Ethereum wallet. I know mine, or in my MetaMask wallet, it does. So I'm on the Ethereum network. Now, keep in mind, you can pull down any of these networks. These are all the different networks that you can
Wow.
transact and use for Paw Chain. And then obviously the non-EVM is the Solana. So right there, obviously, I can't connect to the non-EVM because I haven't uploaded the Solana on my MetaMask yet. But say I were to connect with a Phantom wallet, I'd be able to use that Solana. So pick the Ethereum network. I'll just do, you click in here. So I'm on the Ethereum network. And what I'm going to do right now is show you that you can pick any network you're coming from. And what's great, you can click on this and you can hold your asset on any of these networks, which is really incredible. And that's the, the benefit of Paw Chain is being able to, hey, I want to buy this paw and I want to hold it on Crow. You can't. I want to hold it on Polygon. You can't. But what I'm going to do, Joe, is what I talked about earlier in the Paw wallet. I can also buy this and send it directly to my Paw wallet. Like say I bridged in the Ethereum. I don't have Paw Coin in my wallet for transaction fees. Well, let's fix that. So I'm going to put in a bit of Ethereum here. Not that much Ethereum. That's a lot of Ethereum.
Something slight, just a
not
little.
quite there yet. Yeah, so I'll do $111 in the Paw Chain. I'm going to buy a Paw. So go up to search bar, type in Paw right there. Click on it. Let it process. Now, this is if you want to send it to your Paw wallet, go down here. It says send to Paw wallet. Make sure you go and get that address. So I'll go to my Paw wallet, top right corner. Here's my Paw wallet address. I'll copy it. I'll go to the swap. I'll paste it. There. Now I'm all ready to go. Once it says it's done spooling, hit swap. Do the same thing we just did, similar to the bridging. It's going to pull up on the MetaMask to confirm the transaction. I'm going to hit confirm. It'll show the network fee, 50 cents of ETH. Confirm. Transaction has been submitted. And what's great, Joe, is like I said, you can do this with all those different native assets, all these different, Chronos, whatever you have in your wallet without having to do that bridge, like the bridge into the network. This is all being done on the back end. And this is all being done for about $3 to $4. And if you think about how many transactions that you pay for when you do bridge, it's like 3 to 4. Like say I have AVAX, I want to interact on Solana. I have to send that AVAX either to a central exchange, make that conversion, send it back, and then go to the swap. Swap completed successfully. And then go to the swap and use that. So that's 4 transactions in probably 20, 30 minutes of my time. I'm sure you've done it, Joe.
Million times over. And to say it was only $3 or $4 fee would be, that's putting it very lightly. Those centralized exchanges really rip you off with the conversion fees and
terribly.
stuff. It's ridiculous. So So I guess for this, what's the difference then between the bridging versus using the Paw Chain swap? Is the Paw swap if you already have some assets in your Paw wallet, but you want to switch them easily, or you need more gas fees and Paw, or what would the benefit of each be?
Can you repeat that again, Joe? Sorry, bud.
Yes. So what is the difference between using this to add Paw to your wallet versus using the bridge? They seem kind of similar.
So just the way I explained it is, say I used my free bridging, didn't bridge in Paw Coin. I did Ethereum, right?
Oh, okay.
Well, now I have no Paw to interact and trade that Ethereum. I need Paw to interact with the ecosystem. So this is a way to be able to send Paw directly to your Paw wallet.
Awesome.
That's why I did this. And you can do this with any network. Say, I don't want to go to bridging process. I want to send in some AVAX. I want to send in some Ethereum. I want to send in just about anything. And this includes the tokens that are deployed on chain that have launched. I can do the same thing by sending it in exactly like this. So that is
awesome.
all just easier, right? I mean, look how fast I did it. There it is. Completed, transaction complete, shows you on Ethereum. Transaction complete, shows on Paw Chain the exact amount. I just, did a bridge swap crossing, bringing my Paw Chain for less than $3. And less than 60 seconds, Joe?
Yeah.
Like that. This is what I'm talking about. Like, this is why I really believe, this is going to, change the space and just make it easier on everyone to transact and to move around in the space. So it's really exciting. Like I said, I can show the activity, and I'll pull up our Paw scanner here if I can get it to load. And this is exactly it. I'll go over this right now. This is our scanner. So if you want to see the transactions, if you want to see the blocks, how everything works, we have our own custom built scanner. So this was my last transaction. Shows exactly what I did, how much ETH, the router, everything, a time, all this stuff in it. It's got your wallet addresses, the amount, pretty much anything, any information you need to find out, your processing fee. It is all right here available for you via the scanner. And then, like I said, I can go home on the scanner, brings me to the home page, shows the amount of total transactions, wallets, our latest block, the nodes. And keep in mind, our block time is instant. We have instant block confirmation. So when a transaction comes in, the block is created immediately. So that means we don't have to wait 15 seconds per block like Ethereum. It's why the network is slow. Or 15 minutes. Bitcoin, you have to wait all that different time. We're able to process blocks at a real time that allows us to be much, much faster. And then we can split those blocks into like the parallel lanes where we can extend them to process even more transactions. Like the way I explain it, Joe, is imagine a highway that's one lane, it splits into 8 lanes, and then goes back down to 1 lane. And it processed all 8 of those transactions, brought it back into one. And I know we also mentioned tokens. How can I see what's on Paw Chain? Click on the tokens. Boom. A list pops up of all the tokens that are on chain, and then all the networks that they are connected to. So all these projects right now, Tidycoin is based in Ethereum. I know they're going to be adding Sol support. All they have to do is deploy that contract, utilize that same liquidity pool. So all these connections, like all these different projects, let me find one here. Namo, which is the first ever meme on chain. They're connected to all these different networks from that single liquidity pool. So I can use everything you see here and be able to purchase Namo if I want to. And that's really special.
And to be able to purchase, if I'm like a user and I want to buy that meme coin, are you required to have a Paw Chain wallet in order to take advantage of those swaps?
Nope. Remember what I said with that external swap? If you don't want to use a Paw wallet, you want to hold, say I want to get that Namo, and I want to hold it on the ETH network instead of in Paw Chain, I just do this right here. So I'm searching here. I'm going to type in, I want to buy, 1 second here. All right. So I want to use ETH to buy Namo. Right here, Naked Mole. I don't want to send it to Paw Chain. I want to hold it on Polygon. Boom. Put in my ETH. I can hold it on Polygon. If I want to put it on Avalanche, I can do that as well. And then so on and so forth. All these different networks and hold that asset. So I don't need to interact with the Paw wallet to be able to utilize this technology, which I think is absolutely huge because it lowers a barrier of entry. Like I don't need the wallet if I don't want to. Me personally, I love the wallet. I really do. Like it's just something I use because it's cheaper, it's faster, but you don't have to do it. And I think once people realize that, it's going to be very, very exciting and bring in a lot of new users. Because imagine we're having a launch pad come as well, Joe, where, Pump Fun, Bonk, all these different launch pads that are a hot thing right now, you're only available on Solana. Imagine launching a project and you're available on 20 to 30 networks from that single liquidity pool at the click of a button. And anyone can buy it. We can tap into all that liquidity on all those different networks. I mean, the possibilities are endless, dude. I know I would want to develop a project like that.
This is awesome. Yeah, I really wanted to highlight that. I think that's a big differentiator is that people don't have to have that Paw Chain wallet in order to do these cross-chain swaps. They can just kind of jump in here, utilize the swap function that you guys have. And that's also a differentiator between bridging is, bridging is bringing it over here on chain. So yeah, I think that this is really massive, really cool stuff. And if you were willing to, I would also be happy to see just like a quick demo. So we got some stuff bridged over here. I see we got Tidy Coin and we have a little bit of Ethereum and Paul. So like if I did want to hop on either Uniswap or whatever the AVAX version of Uniswap is, could you show me like the best way to be able to do that, to add liquidity pools? Like
Wait, that's something that's completely outside the Paw ecosystem, Joe. Like on a next time we get together, I can show you how to do that, but it's going to take a long time and like to run you through everything. That like providing liquidity on like AVAX, Uniswap, different platforms is a totally different animal than providing on Paw Chain.
Gotcha. So it's like, you send it to MetaMask or to one of those to connect to,
Correct.
then you just,
Yes.
gotcha. Yeah. Okay, cool.
Yes. And then you go to the DEX and then you deploy the pools on the DEX. Correct.
Gotcha. All right. Yeah. Just wanted to make sure, we're, validating and confirming everything that we're able to do here. There's so many different things that you're able to do in this wallet. It's just very impressive. So yeah, is there anything else you wanted to run through with the wallet, like specifically?
No, I think we're good on the wallet, Joe, and the swap and everything. Like I said, I'm always here to answer any questions. I was excited to do this walkthrough because I think like anything, something that's new, it's difficult for people to, trust, to get involved. They feel intimidated. But once you learn that, hey, like this is just new, this isn't necessarily difficult, and it's going to eliminate 3 to 4 steps and make things easier on my end, that's where I think, people will really get involved. And I notice when people do use it after that first time, like they're like, all right, I'm in, I used it. They love it. They're like, this is incredible. We have some people on X right now who came in from that Tidy Coin, some of their community members, and this is like, they're like, this is nuts. I'm like, I can use base ETH. I can just pull up with whatever wallet and be able to get my coin and make these transactions. That's totally unique in the space, and one of the main issues that we are solving, that we have solved. And now it's just getting people in, get comfortable with the ecosystem, which videos like today I really think will help do that. So like I said, Joe, much appreciated for your time. I'm going to stop the screen share. We can run through some more things and just have a discussion while we wrap this up. But, this is the Paw ecosystem, guys. Paw Wallet, Swap. I went through the scanner. And remember, everything here, custom built, every line of code. So when we build a new dApp or we make an upgrade, it takes a bit of time, because if there is an issue, if there's a problem, we don't have a blockchain for dummies guide. We don't have EVM for dummies guide that we can just go and say, oh, this is how we solve. The devs got to fix and solve everything in real time. So it takes a little bit of time. And one thing I've been really impressed with our developers, why we're very fortunate, is they don't succumb to pressure of timelines, right? And, we're not going to release a busted product. We're not going to do something that's not ready. We're going to make sure it's safe and secure. And you don't see that a lot in the space. And I know it can upset, community members, because everybody wants it now. People want it now. But, what's the alternative? Releasing something that doesn't work and is just busted? Well, then that's even worse, in my opinion. Then you lose confidence. And when you lose confidence, it is very difficult to get that back. So we're always very cautious about what we're doing.
Yeah, I think you guys have done a killer job. Thank you again for walking us through a little bit, of the actual wallet and how we can do swaps and bridging and all that stuff. It's true DeFi platform. You can provide the liquidity, you can do cross-chain swaps. It's kind of got everything all in one. And I really do appreciate the fact, and I didn't quite understand it before, that you don't even need the Paw Chain wallet in order to take advantage of the things that you guys have built, which I think is massive for sure. So, we got a lot already up that you guys have executed on. I guess, what are some things that people can look forward to coming out from Paw Chain?
Yeah, Joe, it's a lot. Like, as I mentioned earlier in the call, like kind of the restructuring we've been doing over the last 6 months in building up our community platforms when it comes to Discord, Telegram, X, unified messages. We have a thing now where we release a blog every 2 weeks with updates of what happened that 2 weeks. And then I host an AMA the week after to answer questions, to go over the blog. So we kind of defined our social media structure and our messaging while also building behind the scenes with teams, marketing teams, business development, technology development, you name it. We are building this entire system or entire structure. So when we do start pushing, get that mind share and start to grow, start to bring money into our network, TVL, things like that, we're going to be ready to hit the ground running. And over the last few weeks, I've been having some very prominent meetings, meeting a lot of people. I've been traveling a lot. Like a lot of people in our community know I just got back from Texas, and these meetings are going well. I usually sit down with these people. I get them hammered with questions the first 20 to 30 minutes. They got the wall up, right? They're like, oh, no, you can't possibly do this. And they're like, and then I answer the questions and I slowly break down that wall that by the end of the conversation, they're just like, this is unbelievable. Like, this is, what we need in the space. And I agree with them. And what's nice too, is I can probably say that I'm not BSing them. Like, I know this works. I can show them it works. I don't just tell them, I can show them, and we have the proof. And that's exciting. When they see that, they get very interested. So I got some big time meetings coming up Thursday. I'm going to be going downtown to Chicago for an IRL event, Web3 Investors Conference, the 4th annual, at the Sears Tower, not the Willis Tower. I'm from Chicago, so I'll always call it the Sears Tower. And I'll be there all day, networking, growing as we continue to move forward. When it comes to new DApps, keep an eye out for the Paw Pay, which will be sending Paw or cryptocurrency via a QR code. So like fast messaging, quick payment system, that'll be Paw Pay. And then the wallet applications, as I mentioned, will be coming to the iOS, the Android app stores. And then towards the end of the year into next, keep an eye out for that NFT marketplace, man. I know you're excited about that one. Yeah. So that's kind of it on the development front. And then in the future, man, 5-10 years from now, our chain has the ability to be adaptable. It can be modified because it's built on that newer technology stack. So we can facilitate things like enterprise, RWAs. If they want to build a subnet on our network for a payment system, they can do that. And that is where I get really excited, because bringing that Web 2 to Web 3, bridging that gap, and not, I think there's been a mistake in this space to where everyone thinks that bring Web 2 to Web 3. They got to be here, interact with us. It's not about that. It's about combining the two, bridging that gap. And that's exactly what's happening right now. And I believe our network can facilitate many of the demands that these Web 2 businesses need. One thing I didn't mention, we have a privacy feature. So if you want to make your wallet private, if you're a bank or you're some kind of business, you don't want other people seeing your shit. That's it right there, right? You can make it private, and that's a huge advantage to us. So we're ready for it. Our business development is really expanding. Keep an eye out for some future partnerships, collaborations, all these different things as we continue to grow into what I believe these next 6 to 8 months is that massive bull run that we've all been waiting for. We've been waiting for 3 years. You see it now. Bitcoin all-time highs, some XRP all-time highs. Things are really starting to move, and I think we're in a wonderful position to take advantage of some of that momentum.
I would have to agree with that for sure. This is a time we've been waiting for. And yeah, thank you for those updates, a little bit to look forward to in the future. I think the best thing for anybody listening or watching this video is to make sure that you guys are following you guys on X. You guys, it's at Pawchain, Pawchin, for anybody that doesn't follow you guys yet. And do you guys also have a YouTube that people can check out?
We do have a YouTube as well. I can share with you when you make the post. We'll get that on there, our YouTube link. And actually have a new YouTube channel. We have a Reddit, Telegram, and a Discord. So we're expanding. Other social media platforms. I'm sure we'll be getting our footprint on there in the near future as we continue to grow. But yeah, you can always find us bestwayx.com. That's where all the official updates come, guys. It's always going to be on our main X account. But feel free, join our Telegram, join our Discord, hop in the conversation. Just a lot of intelligent, kind, good people in there who understand what we're doing. And I'd love to bring people and expose them to this great, ecosystem that we built. And my thing is too, Joe, this, my DMs are always open. I'm always there. If you want to take a call, I'll do my best to schedule a call, return your message, and do whatever I need to do. to make sure I can answer any questions that anyone would have. So
the community is insane. The Paw Chain community is top tier for sure. Like you guys have a great thing going. Absolutely. I guess last question before we go ahead and wrap this up. Why the name Paw Chain?
Okay, so Paw Chain is actually a Latin acronym that I will not try and pronounce because I will butcher it horribly. But it means to like essentially to assist all equally. You know, like fairness, transparency. We want to try and help everyone. Something that I will mention to highlight this is we did obviously a migration when we launched our network, right? So we had to go from our ERC20 contract to Paw Chain, and we had thousands upon thousands of migrations. There were some issues with some of the interface. A few people, hold on 1 second. Sorry, I just gotta get the dog reined in over there. She's going crazy. But anyways, there were a few issues, like a small percent, 1 to 2% of them didn't get their tokens or their coins, and we probably had 2,000 plus tickets with people who made a mistake, did something wrong. The platform froze. They closed the screen when they shouldn't have. Didn't complete a transaction, and our team spent we just finished up one of the last batches, every single day answering tickets, making sure not one single person lost their coins and not one single person did. And that is a testament to our team because this, Joe, many other protocols wouldn't even respond to you. Oh, this, I made a mistake, or like this messed up. Oh, okay. Your money's gone. All right. That's where we really set ourselves apart. So I'm very proud of our customer service team, the way our mods kind of handled everything. They're the best of the best.
I've certainly been there before, even with centralized exchanges like Coinbase. I've had just some awful, experiences dealing with their customer service. So yeah, you guys are definitely doing it right. I love everything that you guys stand for. It was cool to hear. It was actually a Latin acronym. I don't know why I haven't asked that question yet. That is what Paw Chain stands for, and I think you guys do a great job of just representing everything that you discussed. The transparency and collectiveness, and just being a good person at the end of the day. So, Brian, I really do appreciate you. The entire Paw Chain community, I appreciate you guys. I feel like I let them down a little bit with the live stream, so to make up for it, we'll have to have you guys come back. Like I said, this is my first time running this type of interview, so I'm gonna, keep updating the format, and as you guys have some updates as well, we'll have to bring you guys back onto the show and just do an even better interview, get some updates in the future as well. So, Brian, I really do appreciate
we'll do the stream next time, man. Next time we'll knock out a nice stream. We'll be all dialed in. We'll be ready to go, and we'll get this thing done. But I just want to say thank you to you, Joe, for having me part of your platform. And our relationship that we've built over the last handful of months here. I'll always be there to support you. The Paw Chain community will be there to support you. Keep grinding, keep doing your thing, and I wish you nothing but the best, brother.
Thank you, Brian. Right back at you, man. We got a long way to go. We got a lot of videos and live streams to go as well. So I'll have to let you go, man. Is there anything else you want to say before we wrap this bad boy up?
No, just to everybody out there, like I said, take a look at our socials, get active, ask questions, hold people accountable. If you're in projects, make sure that they're delivering upon what they say. And just be careful out there. Like this bull run is picking up, guys. This scammers, I've noticed it. I'm getting more DMs. I'm getting more messages and phone calls. Do not answer a message from Coinbase saying something happened. That is a scam. They will not do that. There's an official phone number from Coinbase. If it doesn't match, that's not them. And the thing is, you'll know when you open up your Coinbase app if something is wrong. I had a buddy lost like $5,000-$6,000 worth of Bitcoin because he answered one of those text message scams. One thing led to another. He was talking to somebody, thought it was Coinbase support. Boom, drained. Devastated. Sucks. Can't do nothing about it. So that's my message. Be careful out there. Enjoy yourselves, and get ready for these next 6 to 8 months because it's going to be a wild ride.
Absolutely going to be crazy. Thank you. Great advice for the wallet security as well. No matter how hygienic you are and how much you disconnect from apps, things can still happen in this space. And yeah, I almost got scammed this literal week. And just one more tip to anybody: if you do get reached out to by some account that has an opportunity for you or anything like that, or says something's wrong, always check with who they're following, and don't be afraid to DM people, ask around, hey, are these people legit? Different things like that, because a couple extra messages can go a long way to saving you the headache of getting a wallet drained. So definitely appreciate you, Brian. This has been amazing. Big shout out to Paw Chain, the unification layer one that this space I think has been looking for. So we're gonna have to catch you in another interview soon, man. I appreciate you. Have a great rest of your day.
I will, Joe. You take care, brother.
Peace.
Peace.